everybody. This is
Hey.
Stephen St. Clair.
And Sadie K. Frazier.
This is a special, very special Have Coffee Will Travel
Vacation edition.
And you might ask, why is it so special? Well, it's because we haven't been on vacation in 2 years. But the last time we went, where did we go?
We went to see Sandra, our grandbaby, in Pennsylvania.
And at the time, she was just 6 months old.
Yeah.
Now we're going...
It doesn't even seem possible.
No, now we're on our way to see them again. But Sandra has a little sister named Scarlett, and she's only 4 months old. But that's not our main focus of...
I don't think she's 4 months yet, though. Well, I don't know. We'll talk about that part later.
We'll figure the math later there. Going to Pennsylvania is not actually the main focus. It kind of is. There's little broken focuses along the way, but what we want to incorporate this into this podcast is not just two grown adults blabbing about stuff.
Even though this is our very first vacation alone in 24 years with no kids.
2 decades.
Like, we were in the car for almost 6 hours today with no kids. That's never happened before.
And we only stopped for potty once.
Uh,
Once, right?
No.
Sure?
I'm sure.
I didn't go potty.
You didn't.
No, you didn't.
We stopped
just
twice.
Once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when you're sitting at your job, or whatever your job is, standing, sitting, running, jumping, when you start noticing the different layers peel away, or your life just kind of wilt away a little bit at a time, that's kind of where Sadie and I were getting at in our lives. And
or when life just completely implodes.
Yeah. We needed this very much, and we were actually supposed to have gone last month in September, but financially it was a little better to go when we're going now. But sometimes you just gotta go when you go. It's just when life becomes too much. And after the summer I had at work, running to and fro, and normally we take off a little bit during the summer, but we did not. We literally, other than 4th of July, we literally worked through our entire summer with, we dealt with AC issues at home.
Yeah.
And my normal Fridays spent home. They weren't spent at home enjoying. They were dealing with air conditioner garbage.
For week on end.
So we probably lost 2 or 3 Fridays.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with stress? What's the best way? Obviously, a vacation is the best way, but what if you can't afford a vacation? What's some things, Sadie, that come to your mind if you have to stay home, you don't have a whole lot of money, you do have a little bit, but what are some of the things we did? You remember when we found Hardy Coffee?
Yeah.
Over Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
We were trying to save money, and we went to a Hardy Coffee place
in
Omaha, and I said to her on the side, I was like, hey, let's go find the others sometime.
There's like 4 of them in town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. It wasn't anywhere special, but we made the moment special.
Yep.
And in those moments, we laughed and enjoyed. We played music on the radio. We literally, what was meant just to go get a single cup of coffee ended up being an entire day trip of coffee and stops. And we found all the locations, and one day it was just kind of a afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
But
spur of the moment.
Come the end of Sunday, towards bedtime, I wanted more. I wanted to run away with Sadie and de-stress a little bit more. But do you have any coping mechanisms that you use at work?
At work?
Or in life in general, but we spend more time at work.
Mine is music a lot. Anymore, it's one earbud in, and I listen to all kinds of different music, but mainly when I'm at work anymore, the words are what's distracting because I've got a lot of numbers to crunch and things to memorize and do multitasking all at one time. So I tend to put a headphone in and then listen to, like, I can't even think of what it's called, like relaxing work music, but it's all kinds of genres, new age music, soft, you know. I call it woohoo music.
Something that doesn't tax your mental focus.
Yeah.
Or sharpness. I, because of where I work, I would say I'm on the go quite a bit, and then I have a second job, but it's kind of wrapped around the first job, and sadly, I enjoy the second job more than I do the first job, but the first job is what pays the bills.
Mm-hmm.
So I put up with that during the day, and I shouldn't say I put up with, that's not the right way to say that, but when you know you like something more than the other, don't you just kind of put up with the first thing?
True.
So it's, stressors are really, they take a toll on a person's body. They could be physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress, spiritual stress.
Mm-hmm.
There's things come up lately that are stressing on all the areas, but
Every single one of those boxes are checked.
we just have to deal with it the best we can. And so when we hit the road this morning at 7 something this morning, it was just, I almost felt this big sigh of relief. And it was, excuse me, it wasn't until we were on the road, safe and sound within our vehicle, that I felt truly like, there's not a single person I have to please right now besides my wife and myself.
Yeah.
I don't have to fix computers. I don't have to run down and take care of this or that. I just have to sit and stare out the window,
and
listen
breathe.
to music and breathe. And it felt good. And here we are, sitting in a hotel room.
Feels like it's like 11 o'clock at night. It's only 7:45.
We're snuggled under covers, and
We had probably one of the best meals of our life.
I'll do a little plug. This is not a paid thing. So when Sadie and I travel, the few times we have over the years, we like to find interesting, whether it be to us or to anybody.
I call them hidden gems.
Yeah, things to do, places to go, things to eat. So we were going to go to an Irish pub here in town, but then we stumbled upon another called Obed and Isaac's. They are a microbrewery and restaurant inside of a First Presbyterian church, and I had zero expectations. But
other than the ambiance and the pictures
man.
we'd seen, I had some expectations there, but I had zero as far as the food.
I try to start out at zero when on a gauge, if you will. And so my first impression, I walked up, was like, sweet, look at this church. It's going to have really good architecture. It's going to have some details. We walk in, and oh my God, you talk about, it hit every mark possible for style and appearance, and the staff was friendly.
Super friendly.
And the funny part about this, we sat down, our waitress came and introduced herself, and we said that we're from out of town, we're, blah, blah, blah. She goes, oh, well, let's give you a tour. You got to check out the women's bathroom. And at first I thought she was just talking to Sadie. She goes, nope, you too, sir, come along. Like, okay, this is awkward. And in what was the women's bathroom, I don't think that was originally designed as such. They had, it was a weird, like, Masonic memorial.
Yeah.
In the women's bathroom wall. And it's really hard to describe. Like, you walk in, to the right was the toilets. To the left was like just this wall of,
it was almost, it reminded me of like a baptismal font or something with a.
It was just really weird. So, anyways, we walk back out. There's of soaring vaulted ceiling with timbers and dark woods and chandeliers and
stained glass everywhere.
Stained glass, and keep in mind it's an old church, so stained glass and all that go hand in hand.
There's a bell tower.
Bell tower. In the middle was a circular bar. We sat kind of next to the bar in what color was the velvet? Was it blue?
Blue, yeah.
Blue velvet with black leather seating. Man, I literally talk about a step back in time. So we ended up getting some appetizers and then a main course that we split.
Yep.
Because literally, can you imagine eating that by yourself?
No,
I couldn't.
I couldn't have eaten the whole. It was a huge portion.
I'm not a drinker. I will say that up front. But I had a Obed's. There's more to the title than that, but it's basically a dark ale with notes of toffee
and caramel.
And like I said, I'm not a drinker, but I liked it. If it was, it went down smooth. It just, if I hadn't already been full by that time, and I never did finish the drink either. I was completely stuffed. And we had lobster mac and cheese and Scotch eggs, and then they brought out
Jaeger schnitzel and
Spätzle.
Spätzle.
And it just was completely over the top, mind blowing. And then we paid the bill. We went back to the showcase and said, "Hey, we want a couple things." Well, they were out of one thing, and Sadie got a T-shirt. And then we met one of the owners, I guess, and asked if, "Hey, are you out of stickers?" And he goes, "Yeah, I think we are." Well, wait a minute, I might have a couple on my desk. They're a little wrinkled. So he came back with a really cool unwrinkled sticker. Didn't pay for it. Thank you, Obed and Isaacs. Couldn't ask for a better night on the town. And if you've never been to Peoria, Illinois, I would go here. It's just an old industrial river town that's got a lot of neat little revitalized areas, and I'm a huge fan of architecture and style, and I was just blown away. But the key that I wanted to, I guess the main focus of the podcast here, by the way, we're going to do a podcast in every state we cross into.
Yep. No matter how long it is, we're not going to worry about how long it is or what we're going to come up with a topic on the fly.
Yeah, whether it be on the road or that night or just over a cup of coffee, we want to bring up just a quick topic that is relevant to what's going on. It could be something in your life, my life, Sadie's life. But what I want to encourage you all is it's fall. The weather, depending on where you live, could be beautiful. In our case, we live in the central U.S. states, so the trees are just vibrant reds and oranges and yellows for a little bit, and the air is crisp. It's actually my favorite time of year. The chill. I like to sleep in a cold bedroom, wrapped under a ton of blankets. We sleep with how many fans on the bedroom? That's nuts.
Too many.
We probably won't sleep with the big one on, though. When it dips down into the teens in the middle of winter, we'll go back to 2 fans instead of 5. But you guys, this is the perfect time in life, as long as you're alive and breathing, and just try to find the peace in your life that you want and need, because and
don't wait until the stress stops or there's perfect time.
Don't wait. There is no such thing as a perfect time.
No.
When we get back from our trip, we're going to be in debt. It's just, we had to do this. We had to see our grandbabies. We needed to get away from work. And both of us, for the most part, like our jobs. There's things within it we don't like. But stress has a nasty way of eating you from the inside out. And it's like a bad burrito. It just kind of sits there in the pit of your stomach, and just one by one you get that cold, clammy sweat, and you're like, oh.
When you asked me earlier too, as far as like my stress and how to deal with it, not just at work, but I'm gonna pay kudos to you here. I think what I need more than anything, and probably don't even stop to realize it until we are on the road and I'm actually alone with you and everybody else is not in our faces needing anything, would be time with you and time as a couple. I think it's important to fight stress and to deal with life, but to get away. I mean, I feel like we're constantly fighting or battling something or someone.
Yeah.
All the time. No matter if it's just dogs need to go out. You know what I'm saying? Just life in general. It doesn't even have to be anything major.
You need that moment in your day or your week to just let the stupid out. Act crazy. Run around. It's just act not like yourself. And I try to be that way a lot towards Sadie, but sometimes life just hits you full force.
Yeah.
And it takes the fun out of you. And if you can't laugh at yourself, I'm going to put myself on the spot. I might not, Sadie. We're in a hotel. I like to crank it to the cold. And
which I usually love.
And she's shivering. And unfortunately, the hotel, this one's a boutique hotel. No bathtub.
I thought we had a bathtub, and we don't.
So we don't. So I said, well, let's just take a hot shower. So we get in the shower, and I was like, hey, Sadie. So I lean against the glass, and I stick my man boobs against the glass. I'm like, what do you think of these? And it just, I realize that's a little graphic. But in that moment of stupidity, I found humor, and so did my wife.
Yep.
And that's all you need. It's just laughter at the end of the day, a chance to expel the bad air in your lungs and breathe in the good air. Take that for what you will. But it's just, I'm really happy to be out in this moment with my wife. Reconnect, laugh, see the sights. We're going an entirely different way than we ever have before. So we're going to see some new things, do some new things, have fun, maybe find some new food, some new drink, and hope to take you all on an adventure with us. Tomorrow we'll probably do another podcast from another state. We're going to be crossing through Indiana.
I was going to say Indianapolis is Indiana, so we're going to have to...
We're going to pass probably by... No, I was going to say Dayton, but that's not true. We'll be actually in 2 states. We have to do 2 podcasts tomorrow.
I was just thinking that. Uh-oh.
Row.
Got to think on the fly.
But anyways, I think we'll probably just cut this off as long as Sadie's good with that.
Yep.
We just wanted to jump in. It's been a long time. As I've said, work-life balance was horrible. But we hope to get back on this podcast train and get it on rolling down the tracks. I'm going to start what is a 3rd season here. I've got some things kicking around. I'd like to do a follow-up to my love languages podcast that I did. I bought the second book, The Apology. So it's basically talks about how do you sincerely apologize. And I'm going to leave it at that. There's more to it. I've not read the book yet. I need to. But I may involve Sadie in it because she should have been on the first one, because we could have counterpoint conversation about love languages and how many there are and what purpose they serve in everybody's life. But now is the follow-up for apologies. How do you apologize to your mate when you've done something wrong, and how do you mean it? Just, hey, sorry. Because I have a feeling we do that more than what we think we do.
True.
So anyway, season 3 coming up soon. Sadie, you got a season 3 probably coming up, don't you?
I do. I've got a couple writers' workshops and a discussion group. And we have an author fair coming up when we get home too. So we've got a lot of promoting and social marketing type stuff going on. So I still need to be able to fit in podcasting. And we've got a lot of stuff going on personally right now that needs some ironing out within the next couple weeks. And then I need to find a way how to turn that into a purpose and podcast about it or other things still. But I need to get back on track. I miss being on here and talking to you guys. So.
Yeah. No time like the present.
That's right.
So we're going to get at it. We promise. But until tomorrow, go find something to unstress with. Relax. Go to bed early. Take a hot bath. Have a drink. Whatever you choose.
Put your man boobs up against a shower and
laugh and jiggle.
Laugh until your side split.
Have a good night, everybody. This is Stephen St. Clair with Crafted Quill.
Sadie K. Frazier with the Daily Escape podcast, and possibly a name change coming up soon. Stay tuned for season 3 and possibly a podcast name change.
Have a good night, everybody.
See you on the flip side.
Peace out.